Hello everyone and namaskar. I am Pallavi from Talent Battle and today we are going to look into a very important topic that has been with us since long time. Wherever and whenever you go to any company, school, college, everywhere you need to give an interview. Right? An interview is a process which is quite pressurizing sometimes, and you have to crack it if you really want to get your dream job or you want to get your dream college or even school for that matter. So, interview has become a very tedious yet an interesting process at the same time if you really look forward to it as an experience. Interview skills are certain skill sets that you need to crack that interview. We are going to talk about some very basic points today so that you understand how to go through the continue, what is the process, and how do we go forward with that. So stay tuned to the last minute because this is going to help you a lot to just be very carefree and understand what exactly this process is. Let's move forward. So interview skills, what is an interview? So, interview is a meeting of people face to face, especially for consultation. Exactly. So, whatever interview happens between an employer and a candidate, or a person who wants to do a job in a company and the person who hires it, it's basically for consultation. You're consulting that person, you're asking that person that do you think I am perfect fit for this job? And the other person asks, do you think that you are a perfect fit for this job? So, in a way, you are exactly both of you are trying to consult each other and come to a particular decision. The meaning says a type of discussion that is made to understand person's capabilities, knowledge, strength, etc. So, to know a person, see, when you meet a person for the first time, give an example. Imagine that on Instagram or Facebook, you meet a person. Okay, you text day and night to do everything, but still there is an urge of meeting face to face, right? The only reason of this is you understand the person more when you meet face to face. The body language, the tone, the voice, the answers, the promptness, the spontaneity, everything is shown in that one interview. So interview is very important to understand how the person is and what can he contribute to you. If you don't meet face to face, it is possible that you might lose out on a candidate or a person who was a fantastic player only because you did not meet him or her and you did not consult him and you did not take face to face interview, which is also called as personal interview. It might happen that you might lose a gem, you might lose a very important player in your team. So let's understand what we have forward. Why should you take an interview? Very interesting. This question is basically for the employer or the HR manager. One should take an interview to understand the person. Very important. You can understand the person only when you meet face to face. His facial expressions, his body language tells a lot about that person. It's not only about what person holds in his resume. It's more about what person has in person, in his nature, his capabilities, his knowledge and his strength. Want to take interview to know a person's capability and strength, very necessary. It might happen that resume looks very impressive. You believe him by looking at his resume, his or her resume. But when the person comes in front of you, maybe he's not that appealing. Maybe he's not that good with his appearance. Maybe he's not good with communication. So interview will clear all your doubts when you meet that person for the first time. So you understand whether the person is capable and has strength to do this. One should take interview to understand whether the other person shares same vision as you or your company. Very necessary. So whenever an HR manager takes an interview, he wants to understand whether the person he is hiring, is he really interested in this job? Does his vision or his mission or his aim of life coincides with the company's vision and mission? If that happens, only then you'll be hired, my friend, because they want to understand how passionate, how clear, and how goal oriented you are. Do you even know where are you applying? Do you even know why are you applying? Do you even know what are you going to do? So these questions they can ask you when they are talking about the vision of the company and your vision as well. Want to take an interview to understand whether the person can contribute towards growth of the company. Very necessary. You're paid, right? The money counts and the hours that you give also count. So if both of them count, you need to understand whether seriously this person can contribute, or it's just fake, or it's just that he likes the company, all the perks and incentives, and hence he wants to come here. Can he really work? So contribution, what contribution will you give toward the society and the country and the company? So indirectly you're giving a contribution towards society and the country when you're working in a company, right? So they need to understand that, very, very necessary. Once you take an interview to understand a person's nature and behavior, very important. So how the person talks, is he rude or is he polite? Is he assertive or is he negative? How broad minded is he towards life or towards many other current affairs, many other incidences? Or is he more conservative? Is he reserved? Do you think that he can or she can work in a team? So there are several things that go in mind of an interviewer when he takes an interview. So he needs to understand, how are you as a person? Will you be able to adjust in the company? Will you be able to contribute towards the company? Will you be able to take everyone together and be a good team player? So that's the reason, my friend, why a person takes an interview. Now let's turn the tables and understand why you should give an interview. One should give an interview to self-analyze strengths and weaknesses. Absolutely. It will not happen that in the first go you will get your job. There is going to be time where you fail. There is going to be time where you believe, oh my God, I went wrong here, and hence I did not get the job. There is going to be time where you fail miserably. But that is where you self-analyze. That is where you understand whether whatever I said, was it correct, or this is the way that you should say it. So self-analysis gives you strength and confidence for your next interview as well. One should give interview to understand if one is capable enough to take a job responsibility. Yes. The job title looks very impressive. The job title looks very fancy sometimes, but that fanciness also has a lot of responsibility, effort, strength. So do you really think that only on basis of your knowledge or only because you have graduated in that particular field can you take on the job? Can you really do the job? So that's a self-analysis that you do, right? So you can understand whether are you really of that level? Can you really give that strength and effort to contribute towards the company? One should give interview to understand if the company and you share similar vision. Absolutely. So when you enter the company, you should understand what the company wants from you, and you understand that from their vision and mission. So do you think that whatever they want to achieve, do you think that you can contribute towards that? Do you think that this is the place where I belong? If you believe that, then definitely that's a very good point. And this will happen only when you give an interview or even before that. So this is like a first baby step. So when you go through the companies and when you want to apply, don't just blindly apply. Understand what the company does, understand what the company wants, understand what you want, and understand whether you really want to go for the job. Don't go for the sake of giving interview. Yeah, that's also good only when you are trying to and self-analyze yourself. But if you really want to go to get a job, you need to understand one thing. Do you really have the similar vision like a company? One should give an interview to understand area of improvement. Yes. So every interview gives in new opportunities along with that new obstacles. So there are going to be questions which the last interviewer did not ask you, and this interviewer has asked. And for you, that's going to be a new opportunity to tell how good you are. And even if you fail miserably, or even if you fail, that's completely fine. You understand. The next time you get that question, you remember the question asked previously. And then you understand, acha, this is not the answer, this is the answer that I need to give. So it's an area of improvement. I won't say that in the first shot you will get the job. It might happen that you need to try. But the trial is actually the next opportunity for your area of improvement. One should give an interview to understand self value and worth. Yes. खुद की value समझना बहुत जरूरी है कि where do I stand in the market? Where do I stand for myself? Do you think that I am that person who can really contribute towards the company? And that you can understand only when you give an interview. If the person is impressed by you, if the person understands, oh yes, this is what I want and this is what the person is giving, that means you have given that self value and growth. So Every company gives you an opportunity to grow. Now you need to understand which to grab and which to not. So for that, you need to give a lot of interviews. Let's move forward. Interview preparation. So that's a process which you need to follow. The first thing is before the interview. So what all you need to do before the interview, that's also very, very important. The second step is during the interview. So when you're actually giving the interview, what you need to do. And after the interview. So once the interview is complete, what do you need to do? So we are going through whole process once again. Before the interview, company check, very important. Before going to the interview, understand what company's profile is, what type of company is it, when did it establish its achievements, its everything, every detail about the company. So how much has it contributed towards society? How much has it contributed towards its employees? What all activities does the company do? Is it only into business, or it does all other things also? Like for example, giving back to society. So is there any CSR that they have taken? Corporate social responsibility. So you need to understand why, because these questions are going to be asked to you. So when you go in the interview, they will ask you, what do you know about the company? Don't tell them a stereotypical answer that this company was established in so and so. No, tell them what appeals to you. Tell them why do you want to work in this company. Tell them why are you interested to work in this company, right? So a company check will give you an overview what company does and what did you like more. Resume preparation, my friend. Resume is editable in finite times. Resume plays a vital role in an interview process. Prepare a resume, impressive resume, and edit it for infinite time. It's completely fine. You can edit your resume in infinite time. Infinite is like n number of times. So you see, your resume needs to be very goal oriented. So it has to be company oriented. So if the company wants this mission, include that in your resume. If company wants this from you, include that in your interview. Obviously, I'm not saying that if you don't have it, don't include it. But if you know that, include that, highlight that, because that's what company looks at. So when an HR manager takes a resume, it takes only 10-15 seconds, not more than that, for him to go through the resume. If he finds resume interesting, only then he's going to call you for the interview. Otherwise, there's no chance. So for you, it's more important to understand that resume has to be goal and company oriented. What company wants, right? Practice makes us perfect. Yes, I do agree with that. Practice your interview and be prepared with confidence. So if it's your first interview, second interview, third interview, take your friends or family members and tell them to sit with you and you give them an interview. So tell them that please ask me questions, I'll give you answers. So that ways you can make it yours, make yourself comfortable for yourself. Ki, Acha, mujhe abhi aa raha hai. Now I'm pretty confident. Let them ask you questions, basic questions, advanced questions. If someone is from your field, you can tell them to ask questions from your field also. So technical interview bhi ho jata hai. Personal interview to hai hi, right? So questionnaires bhi hote hai. There are different types of questionnaires that you usually get. So go through them, right? Prepare most common asked questions so that you crack them easily, and then you can move forward and go for technical interview quickly. During the interview, confidence that matters. Yes, you have to be confident. Even if it's a wrong answer, give it the complete confidence. They should understand that bhale wo answer galat hai, but she did not hesitate. She did not fumble. मतलब उसने से बोलते वक्त बहुत क्लियरली बोला, भले वो आंसर गलत था, बट कॉन्फिडेंस के लिए आपको मार्क्स मिलता है, right? So confidence is all it takes to win hearts. Yes, very important. Be confident and answer confidently. So वो confidence के चेहरे पे दिखना चाहिए, कुछ भी हो जाए, confidence नहीं खोना है. You cannot afford to break that confidence. So confidence wins hearts. चाहे आंसर गलत हो या सही, वो बाद में देखेंगे, बट कॉन्फिडेंटली आंसर करो. So they should feel कि अरे यार, they should also feel कि हाँ यही आंसर है क्या, शायद मुझे ऐसा लगता है यही आंसर है. They will believe you if you give that confidence to them. Smile, the biggest support. A smiling face brings positivity, confidence, and strength. Yes. Smile. Smile doesn't mean that you continuously say hee. No. Smile is like whenever you are giving an answer, have that smile on your face. Make them believe in you. Let the face talk. Let the body talk. Let the smile talk for you. So whatever you are saying, make it more convincing with smile. Listen, understand, and reply. When asked a question, listen to it, understand it, and then answer it. Yes. Ye hamesha. I have been speaking this since long time. Don't hear or don't listen to reply, but listen to understand. Okay, so we are in a hurry. Always, anybody is in a hurry to give an answer. No, that's wrong. Just listen to understand. रिप्लाई तो देना ही है, बट पहले सुनो, सोचो, समझो और फिर जवाब दो. Honesty is the best policy. Be honest while giving an interview, it counts. It is okay. It is completely fine if you don't know an answer. They're not going to fire you, right? Just that they will like your honesty. So, sorry, sir, I don't remember this. Or, sorry, sir, I am unable to recollect. Bas, that's it. That's it they want from you, nothing else. During the interview, answer in brief. A brief answer and short explanations helps to gain points. Oh, this is really necessary. एक क्वेश्चन पूछा है, 3 घंटे एक ही क्वेश्चन पे नहीं बात करनी है. So a question, a short answer. May it be an incident. कोई incidents भी होगा, कोई story भी बतानी है, कोई कुछ किस्सा भी बताना है, फिर भी उसे short में रखो. Don't go on and on and on and on telling about it. No, that becomes boring. और फिर वो जो interest है उस किस्से में, उस incidents में, story में, वो निकल जाता है. So answer in brief. So question को समझो, सोचो और फिर जवाब दो. And जवाब has to be like 5-6 sentences. That's enough. Max to max 10 sentences. In that you should complete your whole scenario. Suit up. Appearance makes the best impression. Dress appropriately for the interview and formals look smart. Yes, I always suggest that. Wear formals. Formals, a blazer, a shirt, a jeans, or maybe trouser, a good shoes. That's it. Formals. Or if you don't have formals, that's completely fine. You can also go forward with Punjabi dresses for girls I'm talking about, but don't make it look very gaudy. Select colors which are very dark blue color, dark navy blue, which we call it as, or navy blue. Blue always works well. So blue or white can be good. Sometimes black also works, but black should not have too much of work on it. Then it fails miserably. You can always go with dark blue or white or black, something that makes it appealing. Yellow, green, these are all friendship colors. You're not there for making friends. You're there for getting a job. So there's a difference. So navy blue, so blue basically, not only sky blue, dark blue, navy blue, white, black, they work wonders. Positive answer. Answer in an interview should be assertive and positive. Yes. So even if you want to say that I don't remember, say it, I am unable to remember. Okay. So unable. Don't say, because no, not, never catches everybody's mind quickly, very quickly. Instead of that, if you say I'm unable to remember, then it's like, ha, okay, no problem. It makes a person positive towards you. But if you say I don't remember, sometimes it might sound rude also. So positive answers. Honesty is the best policy, as I always say. Be honest while giving an interview, it counts. Ask appropriate questions. Yes, every time you get an opportunity to ask questions, the opportunity is given to you to make sure that you have actually analyzed yourself. You have also listened to what the person is saying. Right? So ask appropriate questions when you are given a chance. Don't ask in between. They will give you a chance at the end of the session and ask you, do you have any questions for us? Tabhi jitne questions hai, doubts hai, wo sare clear kar lo. After the interview, follow up. Take a follow-up about the decision. So it might happen that they might not give you decisions immediately, whether you're selected or not selected. They might take time because there might be a couple of more people who are giving interviews. So an appropriate day to wait for the decision is 1 or 2 days, not more than that. Usually, if the company is interested in you, they will get back to you the same day or the next day. But then, yeah, if they have given a particular time slot or particular particular date slots for the interview, then it might happen that after the date slots they may call you. So generally they have like 2-3 days and then they give a call. So it is okay even if it is not immediately, but then you can give them a call saying that I am Pallavi Pense and I had given interview on so and so date, and so person had taken my interview. I would like to know further process or further, or I would like to know about it. That's it. You say that and you get the answer. So it might happen that you will not get immediate answer sometimes, but that also doesn't mean that you're not selected. It might happen that they have their schedules and they have their interviews and they have their date slots. So have patience. Self-analyze after the interview, analyze the whole process, understand the loopholes. So when you come back from the interview, just don't come back and lay around. No, start putting down points, write down the answers that you gave, write down the questions that were asked, because they are going to help you in your next interview. So self-analysis. So when you actually come home and write down your answers, you understand where did you go wrong. You understand, acha, here now I would have said this, here I could have made it more interesting, or here I could have been more positive. So you self analyze yourself, and it is easy to do that. Also you understand where did you go wrong, so loopholes. So where which could have been the point where they would have disappointed by you, or which could have been the point where they were not interested anymore. So you can self analyze yourself. So practice and improve your answers for the next interview. That's also very important, because that is going to help you every time you go for the next session. So practice करना बहुत जरूरी है. Practice करो, सोचो, समझो, जानो, and go prepare for the next interview. That's all about what I was going to talk about interview process. Now, 2 important tips I would really like to give you. One, always go 10 minutes before the interview. Why? The reason is it might happen that you might not find the road. So leave early accordingly. So 10 minutes before. Second, it might happen that it is very long distance, and by the time you reach there, you're all messed up. So you get that 10 minutes to quickly, touch up and make your hair and do all that stuff. 3, it shows your presence, it shows your punctuality. So go 10 minutes before or early to the interview, right? And it also shows that you really are interested in this job, because when you go 10 minutes before that, then they understand, get this person is really interested in giving the interview. So they are actually judging you by going 10 minutes early also. So that's the reason why you need to go early. And third, don't be selfish about resumes. In fact, have like 5-6 copies with you of your resumes, because it might happen that the HR interviewer takes your interview and he marks something on your resume, but the second interview round where you go for the next person, he might not have your resume and he might ask you for that. So don't give them an answer, I've already given the resume. Quickly give them the second copy. So it's completely fine. So keep like 5-6 copies with you, and don't make it sound like I'm very selfish and very conserved about the resume. In fact, be very selfless and give as many copies as needed. So all the best for your next interview. I hope these points help you a lot. These are very basic points, very naive points which I have given you. The reason is I want you to be very, very prepared from the base, because foundation, if you do well, then you can always move forward and build in the building. So that's all about interview questions. I hope you have understood what interview is and how the process goes on. Meet you next time. Until then, thank you.